Okay, so in last session, we talked about the user forms.
In this chapter, we are going to talk about the forms. As we planned last time, we will be talking about the forms, how to draw the controls in the Access front end.
Learned how to design the forms, and of course, we talked about their other things as well, like the properties, right? How you can change the name, how you can change the caption, all that stuff. Now, we will go and make some project, and with the help of the project, we will, of course, again draw them again, and also we will code them, because last time we didn't do any coding. So let us go and check that how we can, do these the things. So the very first thing which I want to do is I want to create a form, a very simple form and a very useful form. I want to link two combo boxes. Okay. I want to link two combo boxes. I want to create two drop downs. In other words, whenever we have a change in the combo box 1, second change will also happen. The second combo box should also get changed. This is the plan. So what we are supposed to do? I go in the form design, and in the form design, I'll go and create here two combo boxes. Okay, so this is my first combo box. Where's the combo box? This is the combo box 1, and I go and create another combo box. I want the combo box to get the value from another table. Now we will go and do this step later. I copy this and I paste it here. Okay, this is a very quite often, I mean, you get to see these sort of things. I mean, where you have to change the one combo box with the another. You have to link them basically, right? So how we can do that? This is what we are going to do. Now, so let us say I want to write here a country, just to explain you. Okay, this is my country, for example, and then here I have my states. So we have the two combo boxes. The first combo box will have a name called CMB country. The second, I select this and I go to the property window and we will give it a name called, let's say, CMB states. Now, if I go to the view of this form, both the forms are empty, right? Now, to do this kind of a thing, I'm going to create here a table, and in that table, I will go and create my country. For example, this is my country, and here I'll go and create states, right? That's how it is. So I go and save it. I give it a name called country. There's no primary key defined. Do you want to create a primary key? No, we don't need the primary key. Definitely not. Because I will be repeating a lot of things. So I go here and I start writing countries. So let's say I write here India, and then I write here this, the state. So let's say let me quickly go and copy paste this. Same way, let's go and create some more states. Okay, this is enough. Now, so we have the countries, we have the state. I close the table. Now see how we're going to do it. The first thing is, as usual, we go to the design view of the country. I click on the data. I have to provide the row source. If you remember, this is the row source. And I go here, click on this, and I create the query. So I use this my the country T, and we pull out this information, the country, okay, only the country. Now, important thing, when you click on the view to see the output, you see that we have a repetition. So this repetition, we have to avoid it. Now, you just can't avoid this by doing something on this wizard, in this query wizard. What you have to do is, you have to go in the SQL view of this query, and please insert a word called distinct. This will avoid the repetition, right? Because in a drop down, you may have 1,000 items coming, right? So we do not want to show them all. All the items which are repeated, that we do not want to show here. We want the unique values, right? So that's why we go to the SQL view and we write here distinct word, because this word is not available in the query wizard. Let me save this. So now let's go to the view option, and I click here. Now you can see here I have got all the countries coming here, right? I select any country here. Now what I want is, the moment I select this in the states, this control, I should be able to see all the states which are coming from the country. This is what we want to do, right? So we should have a relationship set up between these two controls, these two combo boxes. Query design, and I will use the country, and the country comes, the state comes, right? And in the criteria of the country, the value should come from the form. So you're going to write here forms, sign of exclamation, and then when you write the forms, which is a generic word, sign of exclamation, you find here all the forms. Now you can see here we have created 3 forms so far. This is the first form, this is the second form, and the form which I have opened here, this is the third form. So you need the form too, obviously, right? But before I do that, I think we should go and change the name of the form as well. So I go and write here form combo links, right? This is how. Let's go and click OK. Now I go here, I write here forms, sign off exclamation. I choose my form, and then again sign off exclamation, and here we have all the combo boxes coming in. So this is what I'm going to use, right? This is how now it should work. I open my form now, and I write here something, let's say UK, and I have to test, I'm doing the testing whether this query is working or not. So I click on the view. Now you can see here that this is working perfect. So if it is working, what we will do? We will simply go and uncheck this particular part. I'm going to uncheck this part. This part, I mean, okay? Because I don't need the country, I just need the states. I click on the view. So we have the states coming. If I go and choose the India, and I go and click here, we have the India states coming. So this query is working, right? So I save this query, I say yes, and I see that the state details, or maybe state query. Let's go to the design view. Yeah. Now guys, your query actually is coming from this control. I mean, what you select in this control, that goes in the query, and the query output comes. Okay. So I click here, and you can see that all the tables and queries are going to come here, right? This is your query. You can see. Now I go and select this state query over here, right? You can, of course, click on this button as well, but this is when you want to create something, when you want to go and create a fresh query. I've already created a query. I go and click on the view, and now you can see that this. So if I do any change here, let's say I change this to UK, you see that this is the problem. I'm not able to see my UK states. Okay. So let's do one thing. I refresh it. I click on the refresh, I click here. Now the details are coming, you know. So I go and again change this to India and I click here. I don't see the India state. Okay. So again, I go and click on the refresh. And now when I click on the refresh, this is what I see, right? So every time when I do any change in the country, I go and refresh, my states get refreshed. But obviously it is very awkward for a user to click on the refresh every time because user is not going to do that, right? He can't, you can't be dependent on that. So what is the problem basically? So guys, the thing is, I want to explain you this because this is just a one-line thing code, and then we will be able to sort out the matter. Basis this, you created a form, you created a query, which is this query, right? This query is taking the into its one of the header, which is called the country, right? So the form combo box picks up something, the user selects something there, and that something goes here. That something goes here, okay? And the query fires. Now, once the query fires, you say that this, my combo box is going to pick up the value, is going to have the resource from that query, right? I just clicked here. So the point is, when you do any change in the country, you want that there has to be some mechanism. We keep on running the query again and again, because first time the query runs, but the second time when you do any change in the combo box 1, the query doesn't run. You have to refresh it. Refreshing is what? Refreshing is actually running the query again. So what we will do now, we will go here in this combo box to make sure that whenever we have a change done in the country, immediately my event fires in this combo box, right? So in this case, we will go to the event of this my country. Remember, we did this on click also we talked about, and I think I haven't talked about the rest of the event. Let me just go and check that if I given you any idea about the user forms, because I remember we created some forms, but okay, so we haven't done it yet, right? So what are the events? So user forms, event, and then do cmd command, right? Do cmd, you have already learned it, but there's still some more important do cmd commands, because we haven't really learned how to make the macros using the do cmd command. We just learned how to run the SQL syntaxes. So guys, the combination of the user forms, the do cmd commands, and the events, they always go hand in hand, right? So that's why we cover everything in these chapters, in this single chapter, okay? Now, events are the self-triggered macros, which means they are the conditional based macros. You find all the events in the event tab of that control when you select that and you go to its property sheet. Now you can see here there are a lot of events here. Somebody who knows the Excel VBA, it's very easy for them to understand this. But however, we will start from the scratch, thinking that considering you don't have any programming experience. Now events means that when I say that on click means when this is going to be clicked, you want to run some macro, you want to run some query, you want to do whatever, this is how you can go and code in that window. Now the thing is, what I'm trying to do is that whenever the update happens in this combo box, immediately there has to be a VBA command which should run and which should refresh the entire window, so that my query, which is linked the state underscore q, which is linked with this combo box, it should immediately fire. Okay, so here we will go and write in the after update. There are a lot of other events as well, but we're going to write it after update, that whenever the update happens, after this, what do you want to do? So we will go in this window and I write here in the code builder, because I want to write the VBA. I'm not going to write any macro builder or expression builder. This is something which you learn in the front part. We go and say that I want to run a program. Now you can see here we have an event which is a private event, because the events, the macros which you write in the user forms, they can't be called. They are all private, okay? And you can see at the same time, you have here a form created. The same form which we have named combo links, right? It's just that it is prefixed with the form underscore word. So whenever some change happens, this will run. I want to show you something before I write anything here. I put the breakcode here, okay? So let's go and check that. I click on the view. Now, when I click on the view, let's say select this India. So you know you are updating something, because right now the current value is USA, but you want that it should be India. So from the USA, we are going to see India. So update is happening. When the update happens, this event in the background immediately runs. So these are all the self-triggered macros. They're going to fire, okay? They won't wait for your instruction. You can't run them like with some button, okay? They run on the conditions. Now, obviously, because I put the breakcode, this is great. You can see here that how it is going to run. But if I remove the breakcode, user won't be even knowing that there is something happening in the background, right? So this is how this event will fire. Now, when this event will fire, what do you want to do here? Now, I simply want to go here and write one line, me dot. Now, what is a me word? Me refers to the form. Which form? The form, inside which you are writing this program. Me dot. Okay. Once you write the me word, me refers to the form. So when I write here me, and then I have to write my control name. What is your control name? Now, I told you that giving a good name to your controls, like the combo box, we have written there CMB. I forget the name, completely forget. I don't remember, though it is available here, CMB country. But who knows, if you haven't given the name, then you will not be able to see the, the name which you have specified. So the combo boxes will appear like combo box 1, combo box 2, combo box 3. And that's where it is so difficult to remember that which combo box is, for which control. That is why I said in my first chapter, please give it a name, because right now I know that all the combo boxes start from CMB. This is the benefit of writing the first 3 abbreviations. So I have written here CMB, CMB. CMB, CMB means that all the combo boxes which I have created by the name of CMB, they will appear. And that's how easy, for me to go and select them one by one. So I go and simply say that I want to select the state. I want to select the state. I want to re-query it. This is a word for you, re-query. Okay. Now, let us quickly go and remove the breakcode. And let's go I go and close the query also. I go and close this as well. This is my form. Now I go here and click on the UK, and I click here. And now you can see that I have my UK states coming. I go and select USA. I click here. Look at this, guys. This is working now. Automatically, your re-querying is happening, right? So this is how you sort out these issues. So what happened? The first thing what you did is you created 2 combo boxes. On the one combo box, you were pretty much clear that from where you need the data, right? You need the data from the VBA coding, or you need the data from some table. In this case, what we did is we basically, use the query here in this data, right? We have written here the SQL syntax, or maybe we went to the query wizard and we said that we want to use this country table with the distinct country names, right? So in that way, what happened, all the countries imported here in this combo box. This is the first job done. Now, in order to see the state belonging to this country, I created here a query which is directly going to link with this my control, the combo box CMB country, right? So whatever country I choose in the combo box, and this query when I run, this will give me the output for those countries' states, right? And I de-highlighted the country because I don't need the country. Now this is done. Now, since your query is working now, we check that, right? Now we go in this another combo box, and we see that I directly want the output of this query over here, right? So this is the another learning for you. you have not written here any SQL syntax, or you didn't go and created a sort of any this wizard, right? What you are doing is, you can see that when I click on the query wizard, it shows me that same query, the state underscore q, right, that you created in the front part, right? We did not create it here. I mean, what I'm trying to say, I simply said that in the row source, the query should come from here. Okay, I mean, the row source, the the in the drop down, what you want to show, that should come from this query. So this is how it is done. Now we have got this thing done, but the point is, whenever you do any update here in this country, whenever you change the country, this was not refreshing, right? The first time when you run the program, it shows you the country states, but the next time when you do any change, here, let's say UK, this was not reflecting. So what we did, we said that, all right, so whenever the user is going to do any change here, let's go in its update event after update. So we selected this and we went to the property sheet, and we said that in the event, that after update of this, which means that when the country is going to change, you got to refresh my CMB state control. So how you can refresh it, you write here requery. Requery means the query is going to be requeried. So that, in other words, it is going to rerun again, right? So user should not run that query, the code should run your query. And that is how you have this, the combo boxes linking done, right? People who have the Excel information, they can correlate this with the dynamic drop-down data validations, where we use the indirect function or the offset function to, make the drop-downs dynamic. Okay, so this is how your first very simple combo box linking is done using the forms, right? So what you have learned in this, you learned that we can use the me word first of all, right? You can use a requery as well. And the best part, what we learned is that you learned the event, the after update, which we use a lot. On click, after update, these are the events we use a lot. Okay. Now, sometime what we want to do is, if I go and create this, the combo box. Okay, let me create a separate combo box. For example, let's go here and create one more combo box. This is my combo box, let's say, right? I cancel everything and I go and put it maybe here. Let me put it here. Now, what I'm trying to tell you is that this is another combo box which has a country. Okay. Now, I give it a name. First of all, let me give it a name. This is a combo 4 right now. Go on the top and write here CMB new country. Right? Okay. Now, what I want to do here is, I do not want to fill this combo box by going to the row source. I mean, by connecting this combo box with any of the table or maybe the query. I want to write all items which I want to add. I want to write them in the VBA. Is there any way? Yes. So what do you have to do? You just go and click on the design view. Okay. Now, guys, the thing is, when do you want to show these countries? Like, for example, when you click on the view, this country always comes here, right? We always see these countries. Why? Because this country is directly taking the input from the one of the tables over here.
So hope that you have liked the video, you have liked the content and the content quality also. Thank you so much for subscribing to this channel. Your support, your love, I'm seeing that every day it is increasing, and I shall see you now in my next video. Thank you so much.